And I disagree with Bev. He says reality is Euclidean. Well, that's just a claim. He hasn't proven that. And in fact, Einstein showed that reality is in fact curved. It's non-Euclidean. And that's why things fall. That's what gravity is. Gravity just is objects following the geodesic of non-Euclidean Einsteinian uh, relativity, general relativity. That's what gravity is.
Brenda?
Yeah, is my audio okay?
I can
Sounds
hear you.
excellent today, Brenda.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I can hear you just fine, Brenda.
Sounds amazing.
So what's on your mind today? Brenda,
What?
do you have anything to bring to the Discord?
No, I just woke up from a nap. So
Oh, oh. And how was your nap?
fine.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. So, might I ask what is your standpoint exactly on a straight line? Because I mean, this is the first time I've been talking to you, but I'm under the impression that you don't actually know what a straight line is. Is this correct, Brenda?
A straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points.
Oh, so you do know what a straight line is. Well, okay, so if if you were to have A to B, there would be no rise in the middle. It would just be straight, horizontal, from A to B.
Yeah, that would be the shortest path between any 2 points. It's
Okay.
just defined as a straight line.
Now, if I put a couple more right next to A and B, are are they still going to be able to follow that principle?
I didn't quite understand. A couple more what?
Okay, so we have A to B. If I were to put B to C and then C to D, would those extras follow the principle of A to B, or would they
I don't know.
somehow change?
It might not. I mean, if they're just randomly placed, right?
No, no,
It might not be a
Brenda,
straight line. It might
I'm
make.
sorry. I might have misconstrued what I said a little bit. So here I'll clarify. A to B, okay, and you said that's the shortest distance between 2 points. Now I'm going to add another one. Attach it to B with a C, and then with the C, I'm going to attach a D. They should still follow the same principles as A to B.
Have I made a turn?
No, it's still going in a straight line. So they should, in reality, follow the same principles that A to B has. Correct?
So if we have A to B, B to C, and C to D, and the distance from A to D is the shortest path, and all the other points lie along that same path, then they would all lie on the same line.
That would be a straight line?
By definition, yes.
Okay, good. We're getting somewhere, Brenda. Okay, so Brenda, add a couple of more. Okay, how many would you like to add? Because we've already established that.
Yeah, I don't get the point. Why don't you just get to your point?
Well, you see, my point here is, in order for this, I don't want to say model. That kind of offends people. But
Yeah, but
worldview,
there's
I'd
nothing
like to say, that
wrong.
you have what we just went through, Brenda. That's and remember, I didn't get you. I didn't get you to. I didn't manipulate you. You answered honestly. I hope.
Yeah. So
And
we
I'm just saying that you agreed that from A all the way to D should still follow the same principles as A to B.
right.
Okay, and unfortunately, Brenda, the worldview that you have or have been given your whole entire life, it does. That's a wrong. That doesn't work in that worldview. I'm sorry.
So we have a line from A to D. It is the shortest path between A to D, and the points B and C lie along that same point, that same path, right?
That
Is that correct?
that is correct. A to
So
B,
yeah, so that
B
trivial. This is
to
trivial.
C.
Boring the fuck out of me. So what are you trying to say? This is just straightforward.
Is it straightforward? Brenda, do you realize the worldview that you require? It takes place on a sphere. What we just went through, Brenda, is impossible by definition on a sphere.
What is the contradiction?
Okay, Brenda, if we have point A to point B, that's a straight line.
It is the
Depending on the distance, Brenda,
shortest path, correct? I fail to see what point you're making, and I fail to see how this is. Um, it's not.
Brenda,
It's not a worldview. This is just
Brenda,
like third grade geometry.
are you going to tell me that the lines that we've just established, that you agree, and remember, I didn't manipulate you, you answered honestly, those lines from A to D, they should be in a straight line. That is,
We've already
if
did that because they're the shortest path. You
okay,
know,
but straight lines, Brenda, my dear, straight lines don't exist on a sphere. I'm sorry, love.
but is it the shortest path?
Brenda, you have
Is
wax in your ears. I'm sorry, love.
path
Straight
is
lines,
from A to D?
straight lines don't exist on a sphere. They can't exist on a sphere. It
Is it
is utter ridiculousness.
some? Is it the shortest
Yes,
path from A to D?
you already agreed that A to D is the shortest path because
Right?
all of those
Yeah.
lines are on the same horizontal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So if the distance from A to D is the shortest path, what can we conclude? We from our previous definition that the shortest path is a straight line. Therefore, if we have a shortest path, it is by definition a straight line.
oh good, Brenda, good. I love this reiteration. Okay, so that's good. That is very good. Now,
There's nothing.
you obviously are uncomfortable with this. I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm just. I'm just not.
Let let's ask the other
Thinking,
question. Okay,
work up to
let's
gotcha.
just ask this.
That is trivial.
In your model, sorry, I almost called it a model. That's my bad. In your worldview, how is gravity? Because I know that's what you guys call it. How is gravity established exactly?
Gravity is an observed phenomenon.
It's observed.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. Can you elaborate a little bit? What's being observed?
Gravity is observed.
How?
When you drop something and it falls.
But Brenda, surely you know that that's not gravity. That's just simply got to do with the weight of the object.
That's literally what gravity is, right?
Okay, well, we already have a word. I just said it. It's weight. Why
Yeah.
would we
Yeah.
call it something else?
Well, weight is gravity.
Okay. Well, let's just stick with the word weight
So
because
abandon this
that's
now.
that's
Can
what I immediately understand. Okay, so Brenda, do you know what a plumb bob is?
how
I'm
come we
I'm I'm sure you know what a plumb bob is.
how come we suddenly abandoned the straight line thing? Did that not work
Oh
out?
no, we're still on a straight line. Don't you worry. Do you know what a plumb bob is? Brenda,
It's just the weight on the end of a string.
okay. Now, it's a tool, and the tool is used for what?
To establish a vertical
Okay, great.
that from which
What?
you can get your zenith. You can get your zenith from that.
Okay, now, is the vertical that we've established also a straight line?
Yes. Also, yes.
Okay, so like you asked, we are now back to the straight line, but we are on a different axis. I got you to cover A to the D, but
Yeah,
now I've got you to establish another straight line on another complete different axis.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, now are
Congrats.
both of those in reality perpendicular to each other?
Well, they might not be. Depends on their location.
How so, Brenda?
They might be at completely different locations and therefore not perpendicular to each other, right?
Okay,
For a for
so
a vertical line,
hold
a perpendicular.
on, Brenda. Hold on, Brenda. So if I were to establish once again my horizontal, and then I placed a plumb bob perpendicular to my horizontal, if I walk a certain distance away from my plumb bob on the same horizontal and hang another plumb bob, should those plumb bobs be deviated from each other, or in reality could they be parallel to each other?
On the Earth, no, they would not be parallel
Well, why?
because gravity. That's why.
Brenda, do you realize what you're saying right now?
Yes, I do.
Um, You are telling everybody here that is listening that a plumb bob here in reality hangs somehow diagonally. That's impossible, Brenda,
No,
because of weight.
all plumb bobs will hang, will establish,
Of course,
will
the plumb
establish,
bob that you hang at first, if you hang another plumb bob, of course the other plumb bob will be, regardless of distance, be parallel with the other plumb bob because
can you
the
prove?
weight is going in the same direction,
No,
Brenda.
it's not. It's not pulling it in
That's
this
why.
direction. It's not.
In order for you would have to have bobs hang.
So the plumb bobs will not be parallel with each other because gravity will pull all objects to the center of the Earth, and therefore, any two verticals established on the surface of the Earth will not be parallel with each other. They will diverge from parallel. They will all converge to the center of the Earth.
Then you are telling the Discord that plumb bobs hang diagonally.
No,
And that's just not true, Brenda.
that's
That's just not true.
that's a lie. So they hang vertically.
No.
They hang vertically.
Okay. They hang vertically. How do we establish vertical again?
With the plumb bob.
What? Along the surface in different locations? Is that what you're saying?
From the surface of the Earth, how you establish a vertical is with a plumb bob. And if you have any 2 points on the surface of the Earth establishing a vertical, that vertical will not be parallel to a second vertical because of gravity.
Brenda, I really hope that's more than you have more than just gravity.
I
Do you
don't.
realize
I don't
do
know
you
what.
realize all you have, technically, all you have right now is just a word. Love, I'm sorry, but it's still weight. The weight goes down.
Wait
If
a
you
second.
were to put a plumb bob next to a plumb bob, next to a plumb bob, next to for 100 plumb bobs, they're all going to be parallel
No,
and perpendicular to the horizontal.
that's your claim. Prove it.
No, that's how it that's how a plumb bob works, Brenda. It
No, it isn't.
proves itself when you hang it.
That's just your claim. So go ahead and prove your claim.
Brenda, it's a self-proving tool. I
There's no
don't
such
need to. Just look at the plumb bob.
there's no such thing as
Okay,
self-proving.
you've already established. Let's go back to the straight line for a second.
It's not going to help you. You're still going to end up in the same place.
Where do you think that I am, Brenda? Do you think that I'm stuck?
You're a fucking clown.
Brenda,
Brenda,
one,
please
one
control
resort into
yourself.
this. I have not called you a single name. I've been very cooperative with you,
Yeah,
and you're being very
you're,
disrespectful.
you're mocking me. So fuck off.
How am I mocking you? Brenda, you didn't leave, did you?
So Euclid is a fantasy model. Bev is model afflicted.
Well, it's wrong.
Wait, Euclid is a fantasy. Have you read the book? It's called Euclid's Elements. That's really good. You should give it a look.
Well,
look
it's
over.
wrong.
Yeah, well, probably one of the most perfect books ever wrote.
Well, it's
Mathematical
wrong.
as well.
Well, it's wrong.
What, Euclid's
Isn't it?
Euclid's Elements are wrong?
No, it's wrong, isn't it?
I don't know. You say it's wrong. Like, you've
Well,
just
on
said
a
it
surface-
three or four times there. But how
Yeah.
is it wrong? You just stating that Euclid's Elements is wrong. Euclidean geometry
Yeah.
is wrong,
Be-
Brenda.
right.
This is getting old, Brenda. I mean, come on. You've got to do better than that.
won't.
How you're not
We
going to
all
sell
do,
many
yeah.
globes talking like that.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong because in the presence of gravity, space is non-Euclidean.
Hyperbolic geometry is not the same, right, as reality.
Okay, well, that's good.
However,
You did say it was in reality, though. So where would you find that?
It's a better description of reality than
Well,
Euclid.
it's wrong.
It's better.
What?
Do you have like the book on hyperbolic geometry with the author's name and all the definitions and axioms and all, or do you just
Should
add
be
it on as book 16 to Euclid? Like, what's going on?
Well, it's wrong.
so general relativity. So Euclid is a fantasy. So Euclid is a fantasy. Bev is model afflicted.
Wait, Euclid is a fantasy. Have you read the book? It's called Euclid's Elements. That's really good. You should give it a look over.
Well, it's wrong.
So Euclid is a fantasy model.
That's child
Please
abuse.
don't be model afflicted like Brenda.
That's child abuse.
Bev,
That's child abuse.
you are model afflicted.
Euclid is fantasy,
That's child abuse.
but space-time geometry is real. Wow, Brenda, you outdid yourself.
I have in my imagination land, trying to focus. Right. If I use Euclidean geometry
That's child
to
abuse.
describe reality, I have in my imagination land, which is real.
It's inherent in nature.
Well, it's wrong.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You just on your own.
I don't understand the doublespeak. I don't understand the contradictions.
I'm not sure that I would call myself a diletheist. I don't understand diletheism, because that's what logic is.
Yeah, absolutely foundational, right?
And there are different logics with different accents. Well, it's by imagination, so I can just bend it in my imagination. I'm not sure that I would call myself a diletheist. I don't understand diletheism. Well, it's by imagination, so I can just bend it in my imagination.
Can you explain to us why they disagree?
That's child abuse. That's child
Because it
abuse.
turns out I can just bend it in my imagination. Space-time is non-Euclidean.
Well, it's wrong.
Euclidean.
Yeah.
One of Kant's
Don't understand.
well-known mistakes.
It's not my problem that you don't want to learn. You just on your own.
Well, if the
You wanna-
current,
Pardon?
so if the plane is saddle-shaped, so I can
Plane?
just bend it in my imagination. If the plane if you bend it, make it saddle-shaped, then
It's not a plane then, Brenda.
You think things are double-speak, but that's because you don't understand. Well, if the
You want to?
current, so I can
Pardon?
just bend it in my imagination. If the plane is saddle-shaped, then
Plane?
that's if the plane if you bend it, make it saddle-shaped, then
It's not a plane then, Brenda.
If that
This
wasn't
is getting old, Brenda. I mean, come on. You've got to do better than that. How you're not going to sell many globes talking like that.
so I can just bend
on.
it in my imagination. It's obvious to
Up
everybody.
your game, Brenda.
No, I have.
You're meant to be an expert at this. Aren't you? Aren't you one of the best?
No, so I can just bend it in my imagination. Well-known mistakes.
Well, it's wrong.
I just understand.
It's wrong.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You just
It's inherent in nature.
It's a description.
That's a quote.
That's what it is. They need Euclidean geometry to do all their stolen concept shit.
no reason, no logic, no wisdom, no worry.
as a front,
You're just on your own.
but in the back they're doing their magic globe shit.
No logic, no answers to question.
Their magic globe shit.
You're just on your own.
Yes, that's what logic is.
Yeah, absolutely foundational, right?
And there are different logics with different accents.
Reality, yeah.
It's inherent. It's inherent in nature. That's a quote.
Transcendental, relating to the spiritual realm.
You read the second one. That's interesting. There-
Kantian philosophy. Is that what you're after? You like a bit of Kant?
Yeah, that was-
Presupposed and unnecessary to experience a priori. Well, I've heard QE say that a lot. Is that a better way of saying it? A priori.
Oh, Immanuel Kant introduced that kind of language. Well, actually, people have been talking about it before that, but he was the big man in the block.
The old philosopher.
Come to find out, that quote that I just it's spoke inherent. is In, actually it's inherent in nature.
Oh, was it?
Ah, yeah.
No way. Kant
Yeah.
said that
Couldn't
Euclidean geometry was what's that?
It's inherent. In,
to
it's inherent in nature.
nature.
Inherent in nature. Yeah.
Well, it's wrong.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
many
one.
people seem to quote Kant or whatever to saying that reality is obviously and clearly Euclidean.
Yeah.
That's child abuse. That's child abuse.
One of Kant's well-known mistakes.
Because I do actually
Yeah,
teach my
it's
son
irrelevant.
geometry. So when you say we,
Yeah, that's child abuse. That's child abuse.
what, teaching my child geometry?
What? Yeah,